Are you there? It's the future you calling. This is an important message from your future self. It's going to give you insights into your love life, into your destiny, into career, and into just whatever weirdness is going on for you at the moment. Okay, so let's have a look at number 1, number 2, and number 3. Hello, that's in front of you. Use your intuition for this. Try and make your mind go blank. Take a deep breath and don't think about it. That's the most important thing. Just feel, even close your eyes, and one of these numbers will bob up. I'm going to put these in the description box as timestamps, and then you can find number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay? Get yourself a cup of tea, put your feet up. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, number 1. I'm so excited about doing this. It's the first time I've done an important message from your future self. So we have many categories, but I am going to start with these 2. Wilderness untamed. Oh my God. And intensity, fire. Righty ho. Okay. I love this. Straight off the bat, I'm going to say this is not your personality as others would see you from the outside. I think you might actually be quite an introvert. You may, I don't know why, and there's like water down at the bottom here. You may value water more than fire for whatever reason in terms of your element. Okay, you might have loads of water in your chart, or love being by the water in real life, by the sea, by the river. I'm not sure if you actually like to swim in it though. I'm not getting that. And then in comes this fire. First thing your future self wants to say to you is turn up the heat. Turn up the heat. Light the fire. There's an intensity. You can see here it says intensity. There's an intensity in you that you were definitely born with, number 1s, but somebody was very invested in putting that fire out, or keeping it under control, or making sure maybe you were seen or not heard, or not even seen or heard, that you were, I think you've perhaps felt, up until about the age of 10, I feel like you were like this. Then I feel that obviously puberty comes in and the demands of adults, the need to fit in, moving to a bigger school, all the rest of it. It feels like you lost your way at that point, or that it wasn't safe to be yourself. And your future self, I'm getting channeled a flamenco dancer. Oh my God. I am getting a flamenco dancer in a kind of wooden, gorgeous bar, probably, I don't know, abroad, certainly isn't in the UK, stamping. You know when flamenco gets more and more and more and someone twirls, like tarantella is what they call it. And it's a dance where the woman gets more and more intense and then practically collapses with the intensity of it all. That is how much woof that you have been suppressing. There is a side to you that is, well, it is that flamenco dancer. It has that ability and that desire to engage with life, but also to tear it up, not just to watch and not just to be the observer, but to tear it with intensity, to handle it with flame. Gosh, this could also spill over into, well, it does, it's how you love everybody, but it's so buried deep down inside you. I'm getting, you know, when they show you like the center of the earth, and then there's like core and ore and all the things that rhyme with snore and bricks and whatever. There's no bricks actually, but layers, strata, all that jazz. Your intensity and your fire is hidden beneath layers and layers of calcified. It's a bit like digging up a beautiful fossil of something. It's become fossilized. And the message of this reading, the first message for you, number one, of this reading is it's time to let the cat out of the bag. So those are our beginning cards. That's the bedrock of your reading. You are fire. Tst, see me burn. Okay? You are fire. See me burn. Which card do I want? I want the tarot cards next, actually. There will be an extended reading to each one of these. So there's this one and the extended, and the next one, then the extended. In the extended, we will continue with the love stuff. Okay, so we will do the love stuff in this reading, but we take it for a big old channeling ride and do an extended reading where we channel, we look at the shadow stuff, and we look at how do they feel about you from the other side. Okay, so if that's for you, you can find it at the end of this reading if it resonates. Now, what tarot cards do we have for you? The Knight of Swords. We've got the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, another message coming in now from your future self. I'm going to put those up here because I really want to focus on these actually, so you can just see these three for now. I'm going to put the other cards there. Right, God, aren't they beautiful? These are Anna Kay, by the way. I warn you now, my fitting in of shapes is not the best. Okay. In the upright, we have the Knight of Swords, and guess what's in the background? There's a fire. Something is on fire. Something needs to be said. Knight of Swords is the communicator, okay? It's the air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but more importantly, it's to do with Mercury and communication, saying things. Now notice as well that there's a sword in every card actually. Let's have a look. I'm just putting that the right way so I can look at it properly, but remember it's in reverse. These are the Seven of Wands, which again, they're not swords, but they're combat and defense, okay? And then the Queen of Swords here. There is a lot here about combat and defense. Literally, you could almost run those three through as a story. Someone comes and they're after something. They're on the rampage. Someone is defending. And then someone decides the truth. Okay? Now remember, with the Knight of Swords, someone is after the truth. And I feel like the universe, or your future self actually, is pursuing you for your truth. Which is weird, because what this does, number one, is it puts you in a battle with your future self. But nothing else at this point could bring you out of your shell. I feel like you've had messages from your future self, as in you may have had opportunities to break out of your current situation. I'm feeling like your current situation is somewhat of a trap. It may not be bad, as in it doesn't look bad, it might not always feel bad, but there is something about the situation you're in at the moment that keeps you trapped. It keeps you held there, like invisible prison bars. Universe, your future self, because your future self is the universe in some ways, doesn't want this to continue. The Seven of Wands is the card of standing up for yourself, saying what you're all about, saying your piece, drawing your line, being the warrior. It's Mars in Leo. You have this in reverse. At the moment, there is a desire to please that is still going on in a situation you're in now as an adult that kind of has hints of what it was like when you were a child. To be held in a certain way, to be restricted in a certain way. To be trapped by your own self-esteem, to be trapped by your own rules in inverted commas about being kind and being decent. Queen of Swords, who rules getting to the bottom of it, judging the truth. She's going to judge this whole situation, is in reverse. So you need to do work, number one, on boundaries. You have not been modelled. I'm getting so much channeled for you, number one. What has been channeled to you it's been combat or nothing. So it may have been that as you were growing up, it was either, I'm getting that there was a lot of huffy silence, control by what we used to call sending people to Coventry. It's control by what isn't said, bad atmospheres, eggshells. There is something, you don't want to upset the apple cart. You don't want to tread on the eggshell. And then we have this Queen of Swords here. You don't want to stand up and say, this is my truth. This is who I am. Now, this could be in a romantic relationship. This could be within your family, which is really coming through for me. It will bleed into your romantic relationships, your friendships. It will bleed into things like asking for the right pay rises at work, knowing your worth, right across the board. Your future self is saying, come on, join me. Join me. Get your armour on, fetch your sword. It's time for you not only to be a bit more judgmental, actually. And I don't mean that in the kind of, be all judgy kind of a way, but I mean that as so far you're very open. You don't want to restrict other people. You don't want to seem like you're complaining. But there's a difference between saying your boundaries and complaining, okay? A big difference. Complaining is actually a position of weakness because you can't say your boundaries. That was channeled to you. Your future self has got a lot to say, number one. Your future self is on it. And can I just say, if I was having a party, I would be inviting your future self. Okay, let's see. What else do we have for you? Whew, God. I'm going to look at your shadow card as given by your future self. Oof, yes. 5 of Pentacles is your shadow card. Okay. And alongside that, yeah, I want that one. Okay. Sacred Traveller card. Your shadow card is the 5 of Pentacles. This is a fear that has been drummed into you, again, from a young age, that if you speak out, if you step out, if you speak out, if you say who you are and what you stand for, and honestly, the biggest word, which comprises of 2 letters, is the word you find the hardest to say, and that is no. Your future self is saying, say no when you want to say no. And that is something that you need to practice and that you need to learn. And it's also boundaries again. 5 of Pentacles is someone who's left out in the cold. You don't want to be left out in the cold. None of us do as human beings. And even if, when you're a child as well, you are very dependent on your family unit. If they decide to leave you out in the cold, you are a bit stuffed. So it's a natural fear, but it's a fear that you have carried. And it's time to break out, not just to let that fear go, but to break out. Some of you may be in a relationship situation where there's something very much unsaid and it's causing stress. There's something, it may be you that isn't saying it. And I think that if other people treat you with the silent treatment or eggshells, it will be very, it will bring up it will be very triggering, is what I'm trying to say. Your Traveller card is be open to discovery. I love this. It's time for you this year. It's time for you to be open to discovery. You've had hints of this from the universe. You may have had flashes of it in dreams. You may have even had conversation with other people about it. But it's now getting to the point where it's like time to get out and burn it up, okay? Your future self is very excited, by the way. The question your future self wants to ask you is, what unresolved trauma are you carrying? How does it affect your daily life? I think there is definitely for you a phoenix rising here. You know, the fire burns out, the phoenix rises from the flames, and you are the phoenix. You also get the Page of Swords. This is a quieter message than the Knight of Swords. So your future self, and this is going to be really weird, future self may communicate with you by finding you things on social media. It's where you land on a certain person's page, maybe this reading even, or a website or whatever it is that will show you what you need to know. Again, notice we're getting swords. Swords are truth. You need to speak your truth. It may be you need to write your truth. I'm very excited for you. Very excited indeed. Now then, mountains, obstacles, and you have mountains up here too. This is not, and your future self acknowledges this is not an easy ride, okay? It's not even your straightforward, difficult ride. There are certain parts of this where you will struggle with saying no, where you will struggle with claiming your ground, with saying what you have to say, okay? You will struggle with it. I would also say, and your future self is showing me the throat here, throat chakra. Do, even to the point of like, you may have had repeated sore throats, laryngitis, things going on with that. Or feel that you can't swallow, waking up in the night with a very, you know, there's something about encouraging. Do you know what I would do? I'm just getting this now. And it's weird. And I'm getting all so much channeling for you, number one. I'm getting opera singers, I'm getting throats, I'm getting the throat is the highway. Okay, that is big. That's from your future self. The throat is the highway. Take care of your throat in whatever way. Physically, put lovely cream on it or oil on it or whatever it is. Feel it. Do nice massages to it. Also, you could try chanting or vooing. Sounds weird as anything. It is. Make sure you're on your own in the house. Do you remember we did a reading a little while ago? It had a silent scream in. Your scream needs to be loud, not silent. It needs to come out. Look up Peter Levine and look up the voo sound. Okay, it's like making this sound in your throat. And it also tamps down your nervous system and works on the vagal nerve. Okay? Gosh. Your oracle cards, you get chaos. Yes, you're changing everything. And do you know what? The way that people react around you is also going to change. But so is what they give you and how they treat you. I watched a video the other day where somebody said, if you're asking for a raise or if you run a business, you're asking for a price point or whatever it is, you want to come up with the highest number that you can come out of your mouth without you actually bursting out laughing. That is where you begin. So that's for you, and that's part of your future self. I saw that on TikTok, and your future self is telling me to tell it to you. So now you've heard it. It's all very random, but it's not really random. Okay, you also get transformation. That is your phoenix. Look at the colour. Look at the colour. That's the phoenix. I'm pointing now because I'm excited. That's the phoenix rising through the ashes. Woof. Your ocean card is cave, self-discovery. Now, I've never been down into a cave under the water because I'm claustrophobic enough above the water. God knows what I'd be doing if I was in the cave below the water. But while I'm not suggesting you swim into a cave, I'm saying that what you need to know about yourself in order to light your fire is very, very, very hidden. Throughout your reading, I've had calcification, fossilization, all kinds of references to stone and rock. It's really strange, but really exciting. It's like the layers of time. have compressed you. It's like having a good back stretch that you are going to be able to say something. Woof. You may even woof. Who knows? Let's look at your angel numbers card. You get 1010. Embrace the message of new beginnings, personal power and divine guidance that the 1010 brings. Step into the exciting opportunities that lie before you. Take action towards your dreams. The angels are here with you, cheering you on. This is your future self, okay? And guiding you towards a future filled with joy and success. Your future self. Woohoo! As you can tell, I'm excited. Okay. Got to do that because it's YouTube. You also get divine timing, okay? Don't ask when. Really, really important. It's not your concern when. Oh, I love this for you. The 2 love cards you get. Life purpose must link in with love. Okay? The 2 things together. And it must be about what radiates out from your heart, the truth. And you will not be silenced anymore, number 1, even if you want to. Again, got to do something with this. Hang on. You get simply love. The love card. Gorgeous. Showing the chakras as well. Can't show it because obviously it's YouTube and it's funny about stuff like that. So I'm just going to put it like that, okay? Love. Real, genuine love. For you, it starts with self-love. Okay? Self-love. Remember, there will be messages coming in through the internet in weird ways, picking up on strange websites, seeing people you need to see. It's a real good communication channel between you and your future self. Your future self is saying to you, grasp the sword, okay? It's almost like I'm getting channeled putting the sword into the fire. God, okay. Whew. Number 1, I'm going to go do your extended. In the extended reading, I'm going to look into relationships, how you communicate in relationships, what is going on with the communication of a relationship. Could be one in the past, could be one you're in at the moment. I'm going to channel what's going on with your person, what is happening from their side, and what is the best way forward for you in love, okay? The link for that is in the description box. I'm very excited and I will see you there. Leave me a comment, okay? Woohoo! Namaste. Number 2. Let's have a look at you. I rhymed. We should not be rhyming so soon. Okay, number 2. What do we need to know for you? I'm going to look at the 2 nature spirit cards first, actually. Oh God, that's gorgeous. Number 2. Oh, you can't even see it. I'll tell you it's gorgeous and then I'll put it where you can't see it. You get apple tree, which is abundance. Oh, that's so nice. They've even got like a barrel of overflowing apples. Okay. And rainbow, which is beauty. This is lovely, number 2. Okay. Woof. Number 2, you are... your future self wants to tell you that everything is out there already. Everything you seek is already there. And it's really interesting because this reminds me of a conversation I had with the boy, my son, this morning. So he was saying, this happened at the weekend or whatever. And I probably very irritatingly reframed it into all the good things. And it's a choice that you have. And this is what your future self is saying to you. It's not saying it to you in a difficult, teachery, kind of a way. It's more in a look. What you don't know, lovely, lovely self who's in the present, is how much there is out there for you. Or how much as well is about to happen to you. It's so gorgeous. And it may be, and this is always the best time for manifesting, which is probably what we're on about here. You are maybe in a time where you feel there is scarcity, where you are afraid there isn't enough. A lot of us are in this anyway, just because of what's going on in the world, what's happening with the news and media outlets. There's a message, you know, quick, there isn't time, it's not like it used to be, and blah, blah, blah. It's just an angle, and it's an angle that you need to ignore. Okay? Whatever is going on for you, number 2, your future self, I'm literally getting your future self going, look, and there's this huge array like they used to do on game shows. You know, when they used to reveal you have won, I don't know, a cooker, a motorhome, you know, all that kind of cheesiness. Your future self is saying, open your eyes. It's sooner than you think. I love this. It feels a bit emotional for some reason. And let me know, leave me a comment if this is making you, I don't know, there's something a bit tearful about it, but it's kind of happy tears. It's like tears of recognition of what's gone on, but also of the breakthrough you are making at the moment. You are in the middle of a breakthrough. You're like, Gemma, don't you mean breakdown? Sometimes when you reach the point of a breakthrough, it feels like a breakdown. And it kind of is, because it's the breaking down of all that you thought you knew. And your future self just wants you to know that you're right. There is more than this. There's so much more than this. And again, choose the positive spin no matter what is in front of you, and it will come. It's a whole Field of Dreams situation. Build it and they will come. I love that for you, number 2. Okay, what do I want to go with it for you? Yeah, I do want that actually. Sacred Traveller. The higher view. It's like a bird's eye view, but kind of like you're riding an owl of wisdom. This is so cool. Okay. Your future self is saying to you, you are wise beyond your years. You are much wiser than you know. I think often we spend a lot of time in comparison and mild self-loathing. You know, why can't I do that, be that, say that, know that? And it seems like, especially on social media, so many people have got it together and they know stuff and they're confident, and you're like, why can't I do that? And again, your higher self is just telling you, no need. You're already there. You're already winning. And I know that I've said this to the people who watch the dailies. Sometimes getting out of bed, getting your pants on when you're in a particularly dark place is a win already. Okay? Every part of you that is healthy is a win already. And also there's so much more to come. Your future self can see it and taste it. And I'm getting channeled a big bite into an apple. And for once, because I normally say look out when you get anything to do with apples, because it does have that whole, Garden of Eden thing. Nah, not getting that. This is literally the fruits of your labour. And you may not even feel that you've put that much labour into it, but you have. Okay, this is the fruits of your labour. Let's have some tarot as well here. There will be an extended reading for each of these, which will continue the love cards that we pull in this reading, okay? And we will look at how they feel about you, what's going on the other side, and do much more channeling. Although I feel like you're going to get loads of channeling in this reading too, and you've got 4 tarot cards. I think I did 3 for the others. Get you. Oh, I'm loving this. So if you get to the end and it really resonates, it will be in the description box for you, number 2. I'm liking the yellow. I always like yellow in a reading. Let's see if I can fit them in. Nice, you've got all the upright as well, which is good because I am doing reversals. Okay, this is lovely. Very nice. We've got the Queen of Wands, the Four of Wands, amazing. We've got the Empress, and we've got the Three of Pentacles. Again, this all goes back to the abundance card, okay? If you look at the Empress, for example, there she is, okay? This is the Anna Kay Tarot. It's got, I love this Empress. There is just, it's what they call fecundity, isn't it? There is stuff growing, there is harvest. She looks, sorry, there's a drill going on around the corner. She looks like she's really happy where she is. If she wants something, she's just going to do it. If she needs something, it's already there. It's overspilling. Fantastic. You may have been going through some difficult times, number 2, and your future self, literally, I'm getting, is reaching back to hold your hand and to pull you forward and to even take you up on this owl and just say, look, from the higher view, look down. Look how powerful you can be. And a big message I'm getting for you, number 2, is do not give away your power. You have so much more power than you think in this particular situation that you find yourself in as you're seeing this reading. You have more humour as well. The sun is out, you know, it's radiant, you're funny. You've got wit and charm and power and much more power than you know or feel. Four of Wands is a portal opening up, and it's fire because it's wands and wands are fire. A portal is opening up for you to absolutely revel in being yourself, like this Empress is doing. It may be that growing up and at the moment you're quite sensitive to how other people see you. Maybe it's body image, maybe it's like we're all doing, like we're all looking at social media and whatever it is that we're envious of, and there's always going to be something. Your future self is like, no, stuff that. You are you and you are fabulous, really fabulous. And I'm not the only one who thinks it. Your key here is radical yes to yourself. Let me just close this so I can see the cards properly. That's better. It's a radical yes. Say yes to more invitations. Say yes to getting out more, to seeing more people, to more interactions, and to more finding yourself, being yourself, celebrating yourself, and also having faith and believing that you deserve everything that's coming to you. That word for you, I think, is a stumbling block about what you deserve, about what you're worth. This is very much about self-worth. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is how you take this out into the world. Some of you may be planning to do teaching, to do social media, to have a YouTube channel, whatever it is, to do seminars, webinars, public speaking. It's getting it out there to the world, getting your own message out there to the world, and you are definitely worth seeing and hearing. Really important for you to know that, number 2. You may have been an underconfident child. For some of you, and this is weird, you may have had like thick glasses. I know I did. Okay, I did. I had thick National Health glasses. But I'm getting something like eye patch or glasses or something to do with the eyes. Definitely leave me a comment if that bit resonates with you, because I'm really interested in hearing what that is for you. Okay, let's have a look at your Ocean card. Yes! It's all the message treat yourself, the treasure chest. Look at what there is to come. It's like bounty and riches. And you may have been experiencing some very lean times, but your future self is having none of it. It's like, this is yours, claim it. Claim the relationship, claim the status, claim the job, claim the money, claim the life. Oh, that's so brilliant. That is so brilliant. For your shadow card, you get the Queen of Wands. And of course, you have the Queen of Wands up here. This is what you're afraid of being. You're afraid of your own power, number 2. Your future self is incredibly confident. Not because they're looking amazing or they've got all their ducks in a row, but just because they fully accept themselves. There's a secret part of you, number 2, and I like this, that wants to lead. Now, this may not make itself clear in the light of day. You may have chosen professions or occupations or, to spend your time quite hidden. But there's something about your inner self which wants to burst out and which will find its voice and its space. This could be anything from trying new classes to, God, I remember once when I really hate public speaking, which is weird, I know, but I do. And I signed up for the storytelling class, hideous, where it was a week and we went to a place up in the country and you literally got pushed to the front. I know I did this deliberately, in front of a group of people, which were the other class members, and you had to just tell a story off the back of your head. You had to go and tell a story. And at first it was terrifying, and then I found my stories and I didn't know that I had them. That is what I'm getting for you. Your future self is taking you by the shoulders and pushing you to the front and saying, get on the stage. Maybe literally for some of you. Your oracle card here is key, opportunity, and keys open doors. I love this. You are being led here by your future self to an opportunity which you might otherwise miss through fear of failure. And this could be to do with your next relationship, your current relationship, your occupation, your career, your whatever you're doing in life. Your future self is adamant that you must have this key. You may find in the next few days or weeks that you discover a key, or there's something to do with a key. Someone gives it to you. It's very important. You may already have this, maybe as a charm or something to do with a key, or that keys pop up everywhere. I'm channeling you at a door. You're in a corridor. Your future self is calling. Your future self is opening the door, and like this, beckoning. Gosh, gives me absolute goosebumps. I'm loving this for you, especially if you've been underconfident. Yes. Your oracle card is let go. Let go of fear, let go of your story, let go of other people's stories, let go of comparing, any kind of envy. And the moon. Full moons are particularly important for you, number 2. Full moons. So get yourself a moon diary, or, look it up on your phone. You can always look it up on Google, the moon cycle. Follow, look to release and let go around the time of the full moon. Look to release false modesty, any kind of hiding. If you can, like I did when I was terrified of public speaking, throw yourself into a situation that you are terrified of. Obviously, don't go too far, but you know what I'm saying, like I did with the storytelling. How do I react to obstacles, and what does it reveal about my determination? Your future self is telling me you are way more ambitious than you think you are. If you're in a relationship where someone is holding you back, your future self wants to push you up onto the pedestal so that you are the one to be worshipped and admired and adored. That's what the Queen of Wands is about. And it will make you feel really uncomfortable at first, but you deserve it. This is your place. Future self is loving this. It's showing me gorgeous outfits. It's reminding me just kind of like of velvet and of queenly robes. Oh, yes. Your number card, angel numbers 303, be creative. When you encounter Angel Hour 303 at 0303, it is an invitation to tap into your creative energy and pursue your passions. Trust in your abilities and the inspiration that flows through you. The angels are guiding you to step into your creative power and share your unique voice with the world. Yes! Whether you go to like a, what do they call those? Open mic. Or you start writing poetry, or you start writing that novel, your memoir, whatever it is. I'm pumped for you, number 2. Yes, serenity. This is about you feeling like you really belong. You belong in the universe, you belong in your power, and you belong to yourself. Should we look at your love cards? Gosh. Oh, this card. You get reparenting yourself. I know. Groans and moans. Number 2, wherever there were gaps in your confidence, in putting yourself first, you can now step in to meet them. You can find, this is inner child work. So I will look at this a bit again in the extended reading because I think it's important to do with relationships. But also look on YouTube for inner child meditations, inner child work, okay? Because this is really important to recover your lost soul, you know? And then YouTube's just not going to like this one. I'm going to have to use all sorts of devices. Sensual freedom, let's just put it that way. Woohoo! There is something about that. It could be literally like dancing. But it's something about you getting back into the physical, into your body. You may also benefit if you're trying to shift anxiety from doing shaking, you know, like this, like an animal does. You can find that also on YouTube. It's absolutely revolutionary. I swear to God, it's amazing doing it. Especially if you're a person who's really kept all that tension in your body, which I'm feeling like you are. Your future self wants you to know you can have it all and more. There are plenty more apples on the tree where that one came from. Whew. In the extended, I'm going to break you open a whole love reading from a different deck. And we're going to look at what's going on. How do they feel? What's happening in your connections? And how we can talk about that as well. Reparenting yourself, turning up in your power, reclaiming your spot in your own relationships. I'm getting too excited. Okay, if you want that, it's in the description box of this video. And I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Number 3, number 3. Okay, let's have a look for you, number 3. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to take these 2 first and see what we're dealing with. Okay, message from your future self. Oh, wow. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Gosh. Sensuality. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Jasmine smells so amazing as well. I was just going to say, I've got a bush in the garden, but yeah, it sounded a bit rude. But I do have a jasmine bush in the garden. Smells like absolute heaven. And then you also get air, communication. Wow, okay. Message from your future person. Communicate more about who you are, body and soul. Also, there may be, this could be something to do with a relationship. I'm not sure yet. We're going to draw a few more cards to see. But it just feels like, I don't know, the sensual side of things is not as explored as it could be in this complete situation. Let's take some tarot cards to clarify some of that. Oh gosh, that's nice. Woof, God, okay. So, Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is quite a sensuous card. I mean, it's tactile, isn't it? It's about family, it's about food, it's about earth, it's about ancestry and arrival, and it's about embodiment. So the Ten of Pentacles is very, very real. People are there, generations are happening, relationships are solid, they're concrete, they're happening. It's not all in your head. It's not a flight of fancy. I think your future, I don't get this either yet, but your future self is trying to tell you that it's not all in your head. It's not all fantasy. It can actually happen. That whatever it is that you're wanting, that you feel you are trying to create, that you're striving for, your future self thinks that you can have this. I guess for real, you know, in real life is what it's trying to say. And then this very savage Ten of Swords comes in. Not without pain. But you already know that. I feel like your future self, and this is weird, but hey, your future self is telling you that you have a shared pain. Your future self is looking back on yourself, if that makes sense, and saying, I know where that pain comes from, and so will you. You're, and I hate to use the J word, you're on a journey, number 3. You are currently on a journey. You will reach your destination. It will teach you a lot. And you won't be the same person when you get there. Ten of Swords is often about family. It's often about ancestry and what we inherit, groups of people, the family unit, family patterns, communication patterns, and we've got air here. There's something about being present. Some of you, I feel, your future self is talking to you about past traumas and something to do with dissociation, not being able to be in the present. And smell is something that connects you to memory. I don't know exactly how it works, but the olfactory senses, or whatever they call it, there's a bit in your brain which is connected to memory. And I feel like it may be that you get your best memory from smell. It's almost involuntary. Like you don't necessarily want to go there, but then you will smell something and it will really, really take you there. Very interesting. You've also got the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Wands in the reverse, normally it would mean don't rush forward with something. But for you, I feel this may be a relationship, and it may not be a current relationship, but it's something where you trusted when you didn't want to. You made an exception for somebody. You got caught up in something. And it feels like your future self is speaking to that moment of pain, because I don't think it ended well here, and saying you were right to trust. It was not all in your head. It isn't all in your head. Very important message from your future self there. God, this is quite deep, isn't it, number 3? Okay. I'm going to look at your shadow card as well. There's an extended reading to this, by the way, if it really does resonate with you. I take the cards for the love reading, the part that's the love reading, and we do channeled messages in the extended reading. Sometimes I do a whole new love reading for the extended as well. And we clarify the love cards that have come up. So if you want that, that will be in the description box if you feel it really resonates with you. Oof! Sorry, I was just looking at your shadow card. Your shadow card is the Knight of Cups. That's interesting. The Knight of Cups is when someone comes forward, and they're coming forward for you. They come forward to claim you. They come forward because they want to be a part of it with you. It's the love offer card, literally. It can be like the person on a white horse. It's someone coming towards you with a love offer. It's not, let's be friends or meet halfway. The Knight of Cups is someone who comes over to you with something. I got designs on you. I want to be with you. I want to offer you this. I'm coming forward for you. I'm claiming you. Being claimed is a shadow for you, number 3. And it may have always been. It may be that you had siblings and you weren't the favourite child, or you were the first or the last, or whatever it was. It just feels like your Achilles heel or your shadow is, I want someone to claim me. And that doesn't mean like claim me as a possession. It just means claim me, be with me, show that they want to be with me. Make me an offer, put it out there, initiate something. I also get that you may feel underconfident about that you may feel underconfident about being claimed, and that you may have settled, particularly in a past relationship, for a lot less than what you were worth. I think we all have that in common. But it's important. I don't know, you got 2 of the nature cards as well. Oof. Let's have a look at these. Oh my God, okay. You get the 7 of Cups, which is about somebody. It's a kind of card where someone talks up a fantasy future. We could have this, in the future that, we could go on holiday the other. My parents, my father proposed to my mother in this restaurant, this sort of thing. But then they don't always follow through with it. Sometimes they do, often they don't. It's like feeling like, I call it the fairground grabber card, like the needle in the haystack, feeling like what you want is a bit out of reach, that you're lucky to get it, that you're lucky to be offered it, that you need to join the race to claim the prize. You need to work hard for love. Your future self is getting angry. Okay, it's actually swearing at me. Your future self is saying something that rhymes with truck, that. Okay, this is not the way you're going to play it from now on. Because with the 7 of Cups, I have the 7 of Swords. You were betrayed. Your future self wants you to not soften that blow on behalf of somebody else. You were betrayed. If you feel betrayed, you were betrayed. And even if you don't feel betrayed, you were betrayed. Your future self wants to say that very powerfully. No messing. You deserve better. You deserve real, concrete. 10 of Pentacles. I am you. Look at everything that we have built together. Us. Generations. It may be that you're involved in a situationship or something that is a bit in between that you can't quite fathom. And your future self, well, I'm going to look at the rest of the cards, but I have a feeling I know what your future self might be getting at here. Okay, stuff it. Let's do your angel numbers card, because that seems really, really, really important. Angel number 1551. The angels are emphasizing the importance of effective communication and self-expression in relationships. They want you to be open and honest in communication. Share your needs and desires and actively listen to your partner to foster deeper understanding and connection. This goes both ways, okay? What your future self is saying is that in relationships, you may have been very focused on what you need to do to get the other person to commit. Because someone committing to you, claiming you on a voluntary basis or with no input or hard work from yourself, or, you know, trying to make it happen, or manipulation even, with none of that, you feel like maybe they won't make it. Maybe the Knight of Cups will not come. Your future self is saying it's quite the opposite. Be honest with yourself first. Oh, I love this. The oracle card you get is Imperfect Harmony. This is beautiful. The message from this is that there shouldn't be this power struggle. You shouldn't have to feel like you need to compete. That is the word. You shouldn't have to feel like you need to compete. It should come to you easily. So some of you may be in a situation at the moment where you just recently were in a love situation, or you still are, with somebody who is not making you feel claimed. Maybe you feel confused or anxious, or like you have to work something out. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards here. Oh, I like this. We get rest. And this isn't just a rest as in, oh, you know, take the weight off, you're a bit tired. It's take a rest from all that hard work of trying to make something happen. You know, you shouldn't have to make something happen. Your future self is really angry, and your future self is, of course, you. And I would say that underneath what may be a very calm exterior that you have, number 3, you are very angry about something. And that is 1, okay, 2, quite right, and 3, worth expressing somehow. You know, if you don't express it in a healthy way by whatever, you know, doing sports, I don't know, I think you can hire places where you can smash a load of crockery or something, or even like shaking it off your body, whatever it is, it will come out in like bitter ways that don't serve you, because anger is rocket fuel. But when you don't feel confident to express it, you turn it in on yourself, and that's anxiety and depression. And then we get breakthrough. I like that. I have to put this card over it because of what YouTube is like about bits and bobs. Okay, we get breakthrough though. There will be a breakthrough. And I can actually see your future self bursting into applause. I like your future self. Oh my God. Okay, so your shadow question card. Just a little one. What part of my childhood do I need to heal and release? And you're like, how long have you got, Gemma? I understand. There is a certain element to it. There is a painful element. It could be trauma. You may need help with releasing that, because it's not always, you've got to feel safe to release trauma. Either way, that trauma is trapped anger. And your future self knows it's okay to be on the other side of that. It's safe to understand it. Very interesting, number 3. Okay. Your Ocean Oracle card. Oh, I love this. The Peer. New beginnings. I love these cards. Absolutely love the colour of them as well. And I love this because it's a kind of a relic. Most piers are in terrible condition, but it's still standing. You may feel like this pier, you're like, yep, thanks Gemma, thanks a lot. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean there's been some sea and some storms battering. Emotionally, you've taken some storms emotionally, but you are still here to tell the tale, and you're holding yourself upright. You're above the water. You've survived the storm. Oh, that's so nice. I'm getting channeled from your future person. It will never be that bad again. Yeah, we're not talking surface stuff here. We're talking quite embedded. Even like, I don't know, something about, because I'm getting embedded, it's what embryos do, isn't it? It's quite embryonic in some way that I don't understand. And maybe I'm not supposed to understand that part of it. But you're still standing, number 3. And I also I'm getting this whole kind of and from your future self who's like stabbing me. You know, like kids do in the back with teachers. Miss. Yeah, you deserve it. Wow. Your oracle card is lightning and disruption. It's not easy to change something. It's not easy to crack the lid of the casket that you've kept shut for so long on emotions. It will make something happen that is real. I think you've been involved in a fantasy relationship, or you were involved in a fantasy relationship. But also I feel like when you look back to your childhood, you were a child that may have had to disconnect, dissociate, and have a very strong fantasy world. 7 of Cups here. And this would have protected you for the time you needed it. It was a very clever mechanism. But what is happening now is that it's time to get real. And that if you carry that level of dissociation into your adult relationships, particularly romantic ones, you will find that you are not engaging in who somebody else really is. And that you might believe in the false promises, 7 of Swords. Because you're not in touch with your own feelings. When you're in touch with your body and your feelings and you're all as integrated as we can ever get, you feel a yuck sometimes. You're like, why do I feel bad about that? When you're not and you're dissociated, you don't know you're even feeling it. Future self says, I'm ready to catch you. Oh yeah, God, of course you get this one. Angel Oracle card, you get number 3, of course. I used to think that was a bowling ball, by the way, but it's an amphora, a Greek vase. Not quite the same, is it? Surrender and release. Of course. Surrender and release. Let's have a look at your love cards. Oh, God, yes. Okay. By gum. Right. Let's put my thumb there. You get the distorted feminine. It's a woman coming out of a shell. That's very interesting, actually, about coming out of a shell. The distorted feminine is complicated. It's to do with the Knight of Cups shadow card. So it's to do with accepting help. And accepting people wanting to give to you without needing anything from you, not having to work for love. Being enough that you're bringing in the feminine energy. That jasmine, where you're connected to yourself, is a beautiful thing that anybody who's got their head screwed on right will appreciate, rather than try to distort. You need to be particularly wary, number 3, of narcissistic personality types. Because you are an empath. You are an empath who is also disconnected. which is not uncommon because empaths, particularly when you're a child, you get such a clear channel on adults' angst and sorrow that you have to disconnect. This is about reconnecting the dots so that you can embody a full happy life, actually. And to that end, your other love card, which I love for you, number 3, is abundance. Yes, this is for you, number 3. In the extended reading, I'm going to explore a bit more about the surrendering, the releasing, the 10 of Swords, the dynamic of healing, releasing trauma, your relationship. Okay, we'll also look at what's going on the other side with your person. It's going to be big, I can tell, as the actress said to the bishop. That is in the description box. There's some links to the extended readings there. If you click on one, it will take you to the extended. Whew. I'll see you there. Namaste.